Hi everyone, this is Sang.
And I'm Rina, and welcome to LRT Book Club.
For our very first discussion today, we'll be laying down points and thoughts about RF Kuang's speculative fiction, Babel, also titled as Babel or The Necessity of Violence, an arcane history of the Oxford Translators' Revolution. This book is a 2022 dark academia standalone that dives into the power of language and evils of imperialism, student revolutions, and colonial resistance. Babel swirls with magic, lore, and Kwang's signature attention to detail from Barnes and novels. So, I bought my copy, which is a paperback with a silver title for 595 pesos at the SML of Asia branch of Fully Booked in Manila.
I bought mine in Feltrinelli in Parma. It's also a paperback, but mine has a different cover from Sank's copy. It has a silver foil title that was arranged like the Tower of Babel. Personally, though, I like Sank's copy more than mine. It was around 15 euros.
Okay, so
Uh,
tell us more about the plot.
Yeah, this is the summary of like a basic summary of the book. Babel is a historical fantasy. It discusses the use of language and translation as a way for the British Empire to dominate other countries, using magic through silver working, wielding enchanted silver bars to manifest the lost meaning of words inscribed to it. It follows Robin Swift, orphaned in Canton and bought in England by Professor Lovell. He then enrolled in Oxford, especially the Royal Institute of Translation, Babel. At first, it seemed like an utopia for Robin. He met his cohorts as they started a fruitful and tiring academic life, and then pursuit of knowledge, until it became something more gruesome. As his study progressed, Robin caught himself between Babel and an organization dedicated to stopping the British Empire from expanding called Hermes Society. As a boy who grew up in Canton, China, Robin then realizes that aiding the empire means betraying his homeland as Britain pursues war against China over silver and opium.
All right, thank you. So, to discuss the different parts of the book, we'll start with the cover and format. So, I've been thinking R.F. Kuang wrote Babel so close to the academia theme that she made it look like a real case study. So, from the title itself, The Necessity of Violence, an arcane history of the Oxford Translators' Revolution, she made it sound like a real history study. The footnotes gained quite a lot of controversial takes amongst the readers, but uh, with some parts being longer on the page. But it's something new to me, something fresh, so I can't really say that it's a bad thing. But I believe you, Rina, has a comment about it. So what can you say about the format?
I agree about the footnotes. I was surprised when I saw them for the first time, but I think it was needed because it provided some context about certain words or passage. But though sometimes I feel like RF Kuang gets too heated in the footnotes to the point that
Yeah.
sometimes I get like my immersion in the story gets pulled out.
Yeah. It's like you have to pause to understand the footnote.
Yeah, it really feels like an academic paper.
Yeah, exactly. So about the plot, so Babel is actually my first book this year, and I know
Mm-hmm.
it's like the end of the year already, but it's my first book, and it got me sitting down and actually finishing it. It was recommended to me by Rina and also a lot of other people, so I had to check it out. I read the first few pages via ebook at the beginning, and I immediately loved how she began the chapter. So the first chapter was written so well that it got me buying the physical copy. So I wrote this in my page bound review that the story reminded me so much of the Philippine Revolution. So how Rizal scholars first believed in a peaceful war against the colonizers, but it was violence that actually got our country free. Hence the necessity of violence. In the book, a little bit of spoilers, I guess. Griffin mentioned that just pen and paper isn't enough, and that's what our hero, Andres Bonifacio, believed in as well. So I really saw the parallels of the movement despite the differences in the cause. What I also found interesting in Babel is that they showed how colonizers would use benevolence, kindness, and generosity as a facade to get their colony's affection. But RF Kuang made sure to expose these facades as the story goes on.
Mm-hmm.
So, what can you say about the story?
As the alternative title for Babel says, the Babel or the necessity of violence, an arcane history of the Oxford Translators Revolution. Um, yeah, we're gonna start diving into spoilers that Robin chose to side with his homeland, which led to one of the most gut-wrenching scenes where Rami died because of Letty's betrayal. Sadly, revolution was needed. I agree about that. I remember clearly in the book when Westminster Bridge fell, how so many people had been affected when the Tower of Babel was inaccessible, making the silver bars around Britain fail. Robin and Victoire or Victor, lead the
I think it's.
revolution.
I feel like it's Victoire because she's
Victoire,
French.
yeah. So Victoire lead the revolution. In the end, Robin decided among some other members of the Babel to destroy the tower itself by using the word translation because it is an untranslatable word. Victoire managed to escape the tower before it got destroyed. She fled to Ireland to seek other members of Hermon society. The tower's collapse severely weakened the British Empire, but the ending left the future to be uncertain. Also, I remember in the story when Griffin mentioned that he cannot dream in Chinese and that he was a failure project of Professor Lovell. I really felt an extreme pang of sadness because as someone who uses English as my current main language, I fear that one day I will lose the ability to speak Tagalog. That's why I use it as
No.
much as possible. I speak it at the same time as I'm learning another language, which is Italian. But enough
Mm-mm.
about me and my concerns about learning languages. Let's talk more about Babel.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, Babel has also many life stories or life lessons that we can learn from. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that Babel is not a book for people who actually wants to get life advice. You know how we read fiction, I how we read books and how we read fictions and like what can we learn from this book, right? Like we
Mm-hmm.
absorb the characters' development, etc. So I think Babel is a story that is supposed to open a reader's mind about wars and about how easy it is for the government to manipulate society. So for me, Babel is not much teaching us about life, but rather about revolution. It's to stand on your ground, to stay angry at the oppressors, and don't betray your friends, please.
Yeah, especially don't betray your friends.
That was my hatest part in the book. Actually, it's that part. So
Yeah, it was so unexpected. Like, I really didn't expect that plot
yeah,
twist in
true.
the book. When I read it, I was just flabbergasted. I had to put down the book for a bit and then like
Yeah.
turn on like open Twitter and look around their stuff.
Yes, same, same.
Okay, like continuing on, morals and life relevance of Babel. Um, in the Philippines, speaking English, most of the time measures your intellect. Like it's ingrained in the Filipinos that if you speak English, you are highly educated, which I think is wrong. Tagalog is a more complicated language than English. Like it was even mentioned in the book, the Tagalog, what is it? Like
Yeah, the
encyclopedia
grammatica.
thing,
Yeah,
grammatica,
the
yeah.
grammatica. It has
Spans
five, I think. The book,
Y-
yeah.
Yeah, I think it spans 5 volumes, which is like English was like what, two or one? Because in
True.
in my opinion, Tagalog is a more complicated language, but I'm not trying to undermine those who speak English as their second language because knowing two languages is impressive. However, like we as Filipinos should embrace our own language more. Our national hero even said, ang hindi magmahal sa sariling wika ay higit pa sa hayop at malansang isda, which roughly
Yes.
translates to, he who does not love his own language is worse than a smelly fish.
Hmm. Very wise.
Yep. So would you
Yeah.
recommend Babel? And
The
what's your
book.
rating out of 5 stars? Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I would recommend it just as you recommended it to me. So
Yeah.
I will not give it a perfect 5, but an almost 5. I guess I think I gave it a 4.5 in page count.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a book that still requires interest. It's not a mainstream kind of book, I believe. If you're into politics, even though fictional, I'm not sure you'll enjoy it. But if you like that kind of, dark academia
Mm-hmm.
revolution about the character that is brave and courageous, then yeah, I think this is for you. I will recommend it if you like those kinds of stories.
Yeah, me too. Like, I mean, I recommended it to you, so I definitely would
Yeah.
recommend this story. Like, I also rated it 4.5 out of 5 because my complaint was mainly about the footnotes. Like, it
Yeah.
really it really takes me out of the story instead of reading it like
Mm-mm.
straight up. And it's not like you can
Mm-mm.
skip the footnotes in Babel because it's very
Mm-mm.
important, like to
Mm-mm.
read everything so you can understand everything in it. Um, but otherwise, I greatly enjoyed it, and it made me get into RF Kuang, like to the point that I bought Katabasis when it was released. So I can say that now I'm an RF Kuang fan.
Yeah. Well, thanks to you as well. I got interested with RF Kuang. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's everything about Babel. So thanks everyone for taking your time and for your listening to our short discussion.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if you want to exchange intelligent, discussion about books and stories, then join our book club, the
Yeah.
LRT book club.
We have a Discord and it's linked in the description of our profile. So if you really want to communicate with other bookworms, share your love for books, just join our Discord. And it's fairly new and there's very little members right now. And it would be fun to talk more to other people.
Yes. Please
Also,
join. Please join.
yeah, also if you want us to talk more about another book, maybe comment about it and we'll share our thoughts about it. I mean, this is a very short video, so I
Mm.
hope it's fine.
Oh yeah, I hope you have fun. Bye.
Bye!